In tonight's headlines, Tuen Mun School offers counselling services for pupils and teachers after a 13-year-old stabs Form 1 classmate. In a pilot scheme, Hong Kong residents can open digital yuan wallets using a local mobile number through an app developed by China's central bank. And Russian President Vladimir Putin further strengthens trade and cultural ties with China after a visit to the northeastern city of Harbin.
CCC Ho Fuk Tong College, a subsidized school in Tuen Mun, is now providing counseling services to its students, staff and parents after a 13-year-old girl stabbed one of her male classmates with a 13-centimeter-long knife. The Form 1 student, who suffered injuries to his shoulder, back and hand, is in stable condition after he was taken to Tuen Mun Hospital. Social workers and educational psychologists were available to provide counseling to pupils, as some of them were frightened and missed school today. The vice principal of the school said the girl had been very quiet but revealed she had been under special care, as the school knew she had been unhappy. Police arrested the girl yesterday on suspicion of wounding and are investigating the incident. The school says it has activated a crisis management team to follow up on the situation. Deeply concerned about the incident, the Education Bureau is working closely with the school to provide support. A former senior police officer was sentenced to 6.5 years in jail after the court found him guilty on 2 counts of fraud. 5 years ago, Superintendent Harbin obtained mortgages from 2 banks in excess of $26 million to buy properties. Claiming to be employed by an ex-colleague, he did not disclose to the banks that he was a police officer. Deputy District Judge Edward Wong reduced the sentence by 6 months after the defense stated that 53-year-old Chan had contributed to society during his nearly 3 decades of police service. The court also noted that the banks did not suffer any losses as Chan had made mortgage repayments on time. Co-defendant and former Chief Inspector Wong Ho-ngai, who was Chan's colleague in police college, also received a 5-year jail term for assisting Chan in hiding his identity from the lenders.
It has become more convenient for the use of cross-boundary renminbi payment, or eCNY, as the city's de facto central bank has expanded the pilot scheme in the SAR. This means that Hong Kong residents can set up e-wallets using their local phone numbers and top up at most 20,000 yuan into their wallets through the faster payment scheme. But users cannot use the e-wallets for person-to-person transfers for now.
Renminbi cash can be accepted in shops in Hong Kong, just like US dollar notes, euro notes, or Japanese yen. They require no regulation or no legislative changes to accept foreign currency notes. So this is a digital representation of the renminbi banknote. This is going to provide an additional means, a safe and secure means for people in Hong Kong to use this wallet across the border when they go there and they have a need to make payment, or vice versa for mainland users coming to Hong Kong.
On the final day of his state visit to China, Russian President Vladimir Putin met with Vice President Han Zhang in the northeastern city of Harbin, which is home to many Russian expatriates. Accompanied by Han, the Russian president attended the opening ceremony of a China-Russia Trade Expo, promoting trade ties in Harbin, which is just a few hundred kilometers from the Russian border. Speaking at the ceremony, Putin hailed the energy ties between the 2 countries and promised to strengthen them. Facing international isolation for its invasion of Ukraine more than 2 years ago, Russia has become economically dependent on China. Earlier in the day, Putin visited a World War II memorial in Harbin, laying flowers at a monument which was built in 1945 to honor fallen soldiers of the Soviet Red Army. Making time for prayer in his busy schedule, the Russian leader visited an Orthodox church, lighting a few candles. The place of worship is frequented by the large Russian population living in Harbin. Having a light-hearted conversation with students at the Harbin Institute of Technology, Putin said yesterday he could not resist himself when his friend President Xi Jinping treated him to Peking duck.
The government has retained its expectations for the gross domestic product to grow by 2.5 to 3.5% this year. During the first 3 months of the year, GDP expanded by 2.7% from a year ago to confirm advance estimates. Government economist Adolphe Leung pointed out that the export of services, which surged 8.4% in the first quarter, would remain a key driver to the economy due to the leap in visitor numbers. With the growing trend of Hong Kong is heading north, Leung said it was due to the over 10% appreciation of Hong Kong dollars over the past 2 years, causing prices of goods in the SAR to seem relatively more expensive. He emphasized that the SAR has to step up its competitiveness to lure consumers, such as providing a good shopping experience to boost spending. The latest economic data from the mainland is a mixed bag. Retail sales last month picked up 2.3% than a year ago to disappoint the market's forecast of a 3.7% surge. The growth was the slowest since December 2022.
从这个年初的这种冰雪经济到这个每个长假的这种假日经济。
Liu Aihua, spokeswoman of the National Bureau of Statistics, pointed out that it was due to a high base of comparison last year when some days of the Labor Day Golden Week spent from April to May, while all public holidays happened in May this year. But she said consumer demand is recovering. Industrial output surged faster than expected, leaping 6.7% after losing pace in March. The figure has refreshed records of last December. The growth was mainly contributed by a 7.5% gain in manufacturing. Fixed asset investment shed 0.03% in April. During the first 4 months of the year, it rose 4.2% compared to a 4.5% increase in the first quarter. Real estate investment remained sluggish as the yearly figure was down 9.8% throughout January to April. Sales of newly built commercial buildings dropped 28.3%. The urban jobless rate stood at 5% last month, which was 0.2% lower than a year ago. The authorities believed overall employment situation remained stable. Janice Low, Cable News.
Starting 20 years ago, May 17th is celebrated as the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia and Transphobia to draw attention to the violence and discrimination faced by all of those with diverse sexual orientations, gender identities or expressions, and sex characteristics. On the bustling streets of Causeway Bay, pro-LGBTQ organization Gay Harmony hosted an exhibition named No One Left Behind, Equality, Freedom and Justice for All to increase awareness about LGBTQ rights.
We try to make some simple information and let the public understand more in the globally what they've done before. I think in these few years in Asia or the Chinese community is really have a big difference and the support to the sexual minority, especially in South Asian. You can see like Thailand or Cambodia, they have different support to the sexual minority. Maybe have some people that have an old concept. This is the religion country, maybe not really support to the sexual minority. But in these two cases, or these two countries, we can see they are the traditional Buddha country, but they have the first progress.
While bullying and discrimination against members of the LGBTQ community is on the decline, there are still pressing needs to safeguard and protect their rights and opportunities. Though this day is now recognized internationally, including institutions such as the European Parliament and agencies of the United Nations, there are still more than 60 countries around the world with anti-LGBTQ+ regulations. Most of them are in Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. But Gay Harmony is hopeful to offer community and positivity in a conservative city that is gradually opening up.
We just try to do what we can. Like today, we're trying to let the public know more about different areas, what they do for the rights for the partnership. So hope get more support in these couple of years.
Janice Yu, Cable News.